Ready for a wild ride. This deep dive is going to take us back to where it all began with a quiet place, but like right at the start,
Yeah.
Day one, alien invasion, all that.
Day one. Yeah.
We're talking about early reviews, articles, fan theories, the works, getting way past those trailers. Yeah.
Absolutely. We'll dig into what's got everyone talking, what's got even the hardcore fans surprised, and maybe, just maybe, give you some ammo for that next watch party.
Ammo's good, right?
Mm.
Okay, so first things first. We are ditching the quiet farmhouse vibes and dropping right into New York City.
On the worst day ever.
Imagine that, right? The city that never sleeps, suddenly having to.
Talk about a hook. But here's where it gets even more interesting, right? Because this time around, new director is in charge. Michael Sarnowski.
The pig director, yeah.
Pig. Okay, I gotta admit, when I first heard that, I was like, hold on, what's going on here? But the more I thought about it, the more it kind of clicked. The way he does suspense, the characters, the whole feel. He's got this knack for finding those human moments, even when everything's going crazy around them. If Pig is any indication, day one's gonna get under your skin.
And we're better to have everything go crazy than New York City.
Yeah.
I mean, can you picture those creatures, those things, stalking through Times Square?
The reviews really hone in on that, actually, how the city itself becomes like another character.
Yeah.
Those iconic shots, only now it's dust, debris, and silence.
Oh, man, the silence. It's always the silence.
Yeah.
But against a city that's usually so loud. Chills, man. Chills.
A few critics called it survival stripped bare. Like, when it's all on the line, do the rules even matter?
Heavy stuff. And speaking of heavy stuff, we gotta talk about Lupita Nyong'o. Not only is she facing down alien invaders, but she's also battling a terminal illness.
Yeah, talk about a double whammy. It's like, how do you even wrap your head around that? One critic put it really well, though. It's about finding hope and meaning, even when those things seem impossible.
I mean, does it make her bolder, knowing what she's up against? Or maybe she finds strength in a different way because she's already staring down her own mortality.
Those are the questions, right? Seriously, like, what are you willing to fight for when you're already, facing down the clock? It's heavy stuff, but it makes you think, right?
It does. It does. And speaking of fighting, we can't forget about Joseph Quinn's character. Sounds like he kind of starts out frozen in fear.
Oh, totally. Like a deer in headlights. Reviews are calling it the most relatable part of the whole thing, because who wouldn't be terrified?
Right. I mean, would you freeze? Would you run? Would you find some hidden well of courage to, fight back against these things?
Exactly. And that's where day one takes this unexpected turn. Remember how we were talking about Sarnowski and those emotional layers he brings? Get this, there's a cat.
A cat? Seriously, what's a cat gonna do?
Right. Seems out of place, but the reviews are actually pointing to it as genius. It just adds this, this touch of reality, of humanity.
I think I see what you mean. It's that reminder of the life we're trying to hold on to, even with all the craziness going on.
Exactly.
Sure.
Those small things, they hit different in a movie like this. It's not just monsters and mayhem,
So not your average monster flick.
Got it.
But speaking of mayhem, we gotta talk about this subway scene. I've heard whispers, man. Whispers.
Oh, yeah. This is the one everyone's talking about. You're trapped underground, dark, surrounded by people you don't know, and the only thing you can hear is your own heart beating and maybe, just maybe, something else moving in the dark.
Okay, stop. I'm already creeped out.
And those visuals we talked about, they're on full display here. Light, shadow, it's like its own character.
So not just what you see, but what you don't see, too.
Exactly. That's the real terror, right? Not knowing what's coming for you. One critic called it a masterclass in suspense. Every sound, every flicker of light just gets under your skin.
Makes you realize how much we rely on our senses, right? Especially in a movie like this.
Yeah.
Speaking of senses, what about the creatures themselves? What did they do with them this time around? Anything new?
Well, if you're hoping for some kind of big reveal, a whole new look, you might be a little disappointed. The reviews are saying they pretty much stuck with what worked before. Still got that creepy shape, those ears, the drill.
So it's more about how they use what they got in a new setting, huh?
Exactly. And I mean, let's be real, New York City. Skyscrapers, tunnels, alleys. It's like a giant echo chamber. Perfect for a creature that hunts by sound.
Oh, man, don't even say that. Now I'm picturing them up on rooftops down the subway. Okay, nope. Moving on.
But that's what's so cool about this whole thing, right? It flips the script,
Yeah.
takes something familiar, makes it terrifying, and hey, that's why we're here, right? To get you ready for that.
Yeah, so when you finally see it, it's not just a movie anymore. You're there, holding your breath every time someone coughs, jumping at every little creak.
And maybe, just maybe, walking out of the theater thinking twice about every sound you make. And hey, maybe even appreciating the quiet a little bit more.
Truth. Well, there you have it, folks. Our deep dive into A Quiet Place, Day 1. From quiet farm life to the concrete jungle.
New director, new characters, new scares, but the same old bone-chilling tension we've come to expect.
But like we always say, the conversation doesn't end here. Now it's your turn to see it. Think about it. What would you do?
Could you stay quiet?
Could you survive?
Find out.
And don't forget to check out the show notes for all those articles we mentioned. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.